Hey guys, I'm Leo from Art Mart. Our Art Mart's podcast is going to be called Out the Box with Creatives. We like to interview people that think out the box, dream out the box, are working towards their goals out of the box, out of corporate, out of the infrastructure, and being entrepreneurs, thinking for themselves. So for this interview, we are talking to the lovely Rubi Villa. Hi. So I met Rubi about 1.5 years ago, and she became involved in one of our art shows, and I slowly discovered what a great talent she was in this field, and we both evolved since then, and we're going to be doing our 9th art show as Art Mart, and Rubi will not be featured in the next show, but she'll be featured in more shows, and she's touring all over South Florida, doing gallery shows and doing all kinds of different creative pursuits. So Rubi Villa, I'm curious to know your origin story, how you started out. What's your earliest memory in your life of when you started to become inspired? You got a muse for creativity.
I think I was born this way, and actually my first memories are of me painting on the wall. Like when I was like, I don't know, maybe 2 or 3 years old, like barely could walk, and painting on the wall. And my mom says the same. Like I could see you were growing through your paintings on the wall. Like those paintings start making like getting taller and taller, so you were growing.
That's so cute.
Yeah, and she was like aware I was like different in a way, you know, like, and she always like support me, like never like told me not to do that or not to do this, and I'm very grateful for that. Yeah,
it's important to have people support you, and it helped you be the natural person that you are. So when did you decide to fully commit to your natural expression as an artist and decide that you want to make it your life's passion?
Once I noticed I couldn't deny that I'm an artist, I was like kind of suffering because I was like very into it. I always wanted to pursue my artistic or my creative skills, and it was like difficult because you also gotta like society or family or other people says you gotta do this or that to make money, right? And art is sometimes it's not in the list. So but for me it was like very difficult to actually like pursue something different than art. So once I noticed that, I was like, this is my passion. At some point I gotta actually like pursue it.
Well, that's really interesting that you've talked about pain a lot in our conversations.
I know, because I feel like sometimes like feel hard or feel like intense, it could be also painful or like related to pain in a way, but it's just as I mentioned before, this tonight, I think it could be like this enjoyment that we have when we create, and when we see like something like beautiful. It could be just intense, and it could make you cry or something like that, or it can touch your like roots.
Yeah. So that answer makes me realize how sensitive you are.
Oh yeah, I compare myself with an octopus. This animal experience the world with their whole body. They can like taste, smell, and feel with their whole body. So I compare myself with that. Like, I'm
Wow.
very into that.
And being such a sensitive artist, when you do your art, what are you trying to communicate to the world?
Actually, I'm like a lot into like animal psychology, like the simple things. Like you can see a dog like being so innocent and exploring the world with that innocence, or a small little kid like doing the same thing, or even like an animal that you cannot imagine. It has like all those emotions or all those social skills. Uh, so I'm all about like, I feel like one of my missions as an artist is like share that and make people aware of the small things are very important. Like all those small emotions, like even like that enjoyment of seeing that. I don't know. I can imagine those kids are getting so excited about wearing those shoes for the party. That type of thing, like I don't know, like those small things that make you happy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like just little sweet moments in life.
Yes.
And as the comparison of an octopus, like not just the little sweet moments, but the whole variety of experiences.
Yes. Really.
That's really interesting and thought-provoking. Can you tell me more what you mean about like the different emotions that animals feel? Are you just comparing like it's a comparison of the wide variety of emotions?
Yeah. For example, the first time that a cat sees a dog, like,
Yeah.
imagine that experience must be like shocking and difficult, and also like, what is this, you know?
Mhm.
So I'm trying to evoke that kind of emotions with my art. I'm working on it because I know it's like a difficult type of thing to try to make. And sometimes like as human beings we get old and we forget a little bit about those things. So I'm trying to make people remember those things.
That's a great answer. So, would you also include that in your message to the world? Like so now we've talked about your childhood and your first experiences of drawing on the wall and growing a little more and a little more and being able to reach a little higher on the wall.
Yeah.
So now that you look back and you're older, what in the big sense of the word do you want to communicate to the world with your art? Is there a general thing you want to communicate?
I want people to be aware that art is I think it's meant to unite us, like make us get together. For example, if I like this type of music and I find out you like this same type of music, we're similar in a way. So art is meant to be to that, you know. So I don't like this idea of. I mean, everyone is free to believe whatever they want, but this type of art that is made to divide us, I don't love it. I think that the simple stuff that make us similar is more important than the bigger, or I don't know, like all these politics, for example, that make us like fight. I don't think it's necessary, actually.
Very nice, Ruby. So I've seen a lot of your work, and I know that you are always experimental.
Oh yeah.
How can you explain your process and your technique with us?
Yeah, I think it's important for me like keep moving. Sometimes if you don't move a lot and you don't go around and you don't check like all these different like ideas or environments, you get stuck. So for me it's very important to like keep like feeding my demon, like my art demon, which is always like catching everywhere. Sometimes I feel like I don't have ideas, and someone asks me how do you do this, and then I have like thousands of ideas. So my demon is my angel or demon, however you wanna call it, is always like feeding me, and I'm very grateful because I think it's a gift. I don't know where is that come from, but I'm very grateful. So yeah, I think it's like I'm surrounded by tools to make art. So I use like so many elements and so many materials. Right now I'm working on a program with like painting with kitchen, like foods or veggies, and make painting from that. So because we have everything everywhere, we can do art with whatever. So yes, so that would be my process. Like just keep exploring, like an octopus stuff. Yeah.
Right. Ruby, what advice would you give people that are just beginning to get inspired and just starting to realize that they want to pursue a life of creating things?
One of my advice, as I just mentioned, is like keep moving, keep like feeding their creativity, keep like consuming art, like going to museums or watching movies. There's art everywhere, and you can get inspired by other artists, and also like just watching nature. You know, watching the sunset is beautiful. You can check on the colors and try to replicate that. And I mean, it's just like if you feel like just do it. You know, yeah.
Well, Rick Rubin, a great music producer, once said you could get a rock from nature and try and reproduce that color, and it's almost impossible.
Yes, but someone told me once, if you throw something, you might get just to the halfway that you want to get.
Yeah.
Halfway is good enough, you know?
Yeah.
So just try to throw the hardest you can.
Nice. So I like to ask about your fashion. You came dressed in a really unique way today. Where do you get your fashion sense from?
I feel like I love music, and I love like pop artists. Actually, like I feel like pop and hip hop aesthetics are very creative. So I get inspired by that type of artists, and also I love Instagram. Actually, and just the search area on Instagram, I can get inspired by. I can get like a sense of what is in trend, and you don't need much to get actually like creative. Sometimes you feel like, oh, of course, if you're gonna get like a Versace or a Gucci, it's gonna be like tons of money, right? But you can get like so many interesting pieces just going to a thrift store, for example. So yeah, I just wanna explore that area too. As I said, as an octopus, you can like sense with your body and like try to show it with your pictures, with your dress, or with the way you speak, or you can express yourself. There are so many ways to do it.
Yeah.
So try to do it, and it's free sometimes. So yeah.
Well, that was a fascinating interview, and I'm looking forward to doing more podcasts with you. Hopefully, we could do a longer forum and really like get into the minutia and the details of it.
Yeah.
Well, thank you
Here,
very much, Ruby.
Thank you for having me.
My pleasure.